We're back inside the UMAC, the Union Multipurpose Activity Center. Yes, I know the break wasn't long, but it's time for boys basketball. Rick Corey along with Nick Irwin. After a girls' overtime victory over Westmoore, the boys will take on the same Westmoore team. And, Nick, this looks to be one of those times, too, for these Union team. They've gotten really hot lately, and you'd love to see that continue here.
Yeah, pushing into February now. Now that we're starting to get into that February schedule where games are slowly starting to get better teams, conference matchups, districts matchups, it's going to be very, very important right now that momentum kind of falls through the rest of the season. And after a very successful Union Jinx Invitational Tournament, it seemed like that has kind of lit a fire in January so that we can move on into February. So I like to really see kind of how we're going to be able to work that and try to find some players that might be coming off the bench that could give us some help later in the season.
Certainly Gunn has been as good as thought. Chappelle didn't score as much last time, but he had a really nice night from Tristan Driver, who's become a bigger part of this team.
Yeah, with Driver being his first year here, he was a transfer here. And so with him transferring into the team, you want to make sure chemistry's there with everybody, trying to make sure that all is well with that. Last year we had a 7'2" center that we were able to work a lot of our offense through. Now we're trying to find where Flemings fits in there, where we're going to be able to kind of use him. And when we use Flemings, it's important to note he sometimes has those moments where he gets a little bit frustrated and things aren't working with that. It's just important to know, always simplify things. You want to make sure that your movement is smaller. And so it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to be able to face up against our visiting Westmoore Jaguars.
And Miles Flemings is a guy who got hurt in that last game. He had a cut on his eye, and he ended up spending a little bit of time on the bench, then running to the locker room for a different jersey. When he came back, he looked to be a little re-energized. Not that they're necessarily, Nick, running the offense through Miles Flemings, but they are doing a much better job, at least I thought, of getting him involved situationally.
Yeah, a lot of the times when we're passing it to him down low, it's just so important to make sure that those passes are clean, because when it's a higher ball or it's at his feet, he doesn't have the confidence to usually go up strong. So when we're using that, it's important to know the passes are just as important as the finish.
Now, when we look at the standings here at the 6A District 3, this is as important as the girls' game was. Take a look here. Owasso at 15-3, 6-0 in district. Then Union at 9-6, 5-1. And look there. Westmoore 10-5, 5-2. A Union win tonight. You move forward even more. Now, Union, again, has more district points. Westmoore trails them pretty decently by district points. But you don't want to even up in the standings and have Westmoore go to 6-2 while you go to 5-2. So this is another big game for these two teams and pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, kind of a carbon copy of the previous conference standings of the girls. Now with Owasso, as they are kind of running away with the first place position. Union now in second place with Westmoore at 3. It's one of those January matchups that's going to lead later in the standings. You don't want to drop a game now and then get hotter later in the season and say, why did we lose that game? So it's going to be important here we show up, especially riding high from the competence of the Union Jinx Invitational.
And just like in that first game, you saw most of the scoring for Westmoore coming from sisters. In this case, we're going to see brothers. These are going to be the Garrett and Grant Bernard brothers. Garrett Bernard, a senior, averaging 16-3 a game. Grant Bernard, his brother, averaging 14-3. Then Ivan Antoine Doncor averaging 13-7. Outside of that, nobody more than 6 a game for Westmoore. So it really does run through those 3 players, but the Bernard brothers are the 2 who do the bulk of this scoring.
For tonight, I'm really interested to see kind of with the intensity from this weekend. We always talk about maybe some fatigue, maybe some conditioning-wise. How are we going to be on the defensive side? But just as the girls had an overtime game, the boys had an overtime game Friday night, was able to still take that into Saturday and beat Jinx at Jinx. So if anything, that's telling me that conditioning isn't really a worry for us. So I'm excited to see kind of how we match up with these players. For the size matchups, we have a 6'5" player from Westmoore matching up against our beast down low. I always like to call him a beast. 6'8" Miles Flemings, as Coach Rudy Garcia has a conversation with head coach Todd Milwee from Westmoore, kind of talking things over, making sure all is well. and we're going to get this game underway in the next 60 seconds.
Well, maybe he understood. Coach, you can see Coach Rudy down there. He's got that arm in a sling, yeah. And he had a bit of a funk on that yesterday. It was close for a while about whether Coach Rudy might be in the building tonight, but he looks fine now with more than 600 wins. We'll get to the starting lineups here in just one moment and get this one underway. Union girls winning a little earlier tonight. Now it's up to the boys against Westmoore. Got some fans filtering in here, too, which is nice. It's a warm night here inside the building, but a nice day in Tulsa as it reached in the 61-degree range, which for this time of the year is an absolute steal.
Yes, on a night like this, it was going to be a nice night to be outdoors, but you see some fans trickling in, enjoying some Tuesday night basketball. And something to note that I saw earlier on in the JV game, Jackson McIntyre had 18 in the JV matchup. So that was a really good showing from Jackson McIntyre. Hopefully he gets some play time tonight, or if it's one of those games where it's kind of a blowout, we're going to be able to at least get some bench players coming in. But 2 versus 3 in district, it's going to be a tough matchup.
What do you expect in that fifth position tonight? We'd seen Robbie Manning and Emmanuel Voltaire start. Who do you expect?
Yeah, I'm typically going to favor Voltaire. I see him kind of more as a senior leadership, going to have a little bit more confidence. But one of the main things, it's a quick substitution sometimes if it's not a good start.
And your Union Redhawks. First, let's meet the visitors, the Westmoore Jaguars. At 6'2", a senior number 2, Garrett Bernard. At 6'2", a senior number 3, Grant Bernard. At 6'3", a senior number 10, Amari Thorne. At 6'5", a junior number 12, Ivan Antry Donker. And at 6'4", a senior number 23, VR Ortiz. Head coach of the Jaguars is Todd Milwee, assisted by Bo Harrington, Sharif Stafford, Peyton Gordon, and Tyler Aljo.
Cross-court to Manning, lays it off the glass. Half court, Driver takes the 3. Open 3, up, and it's good.
Just call me Lieutenant. I'll be done in a minute. I'm testing the fish.
And now for the starting lineup for your Union Redhawks. First, our ball boys tonight, Titus Buchelman, Asher Palacio, and Seven Marshall. Starting at 6'1", a senior number 1, Tristan Driver. At 6 foot, a senior number 10, Corbin Gunn. At 5'10", a senior number 11, Justin Chappelle. At 6'2", a junior number 14, Robbie Manning. And at 6'8", a junior number 22, Miles Flemons. Assistant coaches for the Redhawks are Steve Urey, Mark Ritter, and Derek Lewis. And in his 30th season as head coach of the Redhawks, Rudy Garcia.
So there are your starting lineups, and we are ready for boys basketball tonight here at the UMAC again after a nice win by the girls in overtime over Westmoore. So that fifth starting place does go to Robbie Manning. Voltaire brings a lot of athleticism, but we did see Manning come in early in that last game and kind of settle things down.
Yeah, they're very much interchangeable. They can go back and forth, and that's something that Coach Garcia typically is able to work with. And as you see with the girls, you see that kind of changing of Coleman and Woodard. I feel like that's the same situation here, Voltaire and Manning. Who's going to have the better start? Keep that energy high in the first start, and you're going to be able to see a little bit more starting time or more time coming off the bench.
So Flemons will jump against Antwi Dokor. here as we begin this game. Rick Corey and Nick Irwin with you here at the UMAC. Tap is knocked around and it'll go to Westmoore. Hooker with the basketball, and he'll go out front to Grant Bernard. And Grant Bernard and Garrett, his brother. Garrett cuts inside. That ball's taken away. Chappelle to Gunn. Gunn between the legs to Driver. Driver, quick little pass is almost thrown away, but Chappelle is able to gather it. It was a good idea, but no one was looking for that, Nick.
Flemings by himself down low. Get it
That's
to
what
him.
they want. They get it down there. Now they'll try to close and help on him, and they do. And he almost falls out of bounds.
Pass.
Throws it back inside to Manning, who's able to lay it up for a 2-point.
Yeah, Flemings meant to do that. What a pass.
You bet he did. We'll stick with that story. Westmoore, out front. Docor pulls up and can't get it to go down, and Gunn with the rebound. Flemings with a screen. Gunn turns it down, goes back to Flemings. Inside, left-hander, not good. Flemings can't get that rebound, and it's out to Bernard.
It's a good look from Flemings.
That's Grant Bernard out front, and he wants to drive, tosses it right side. Docor, and that three is good. Ivan Antoy Duncor knocks it down, and it's 3-2 Westmoore.
Yeah, that was a really good drive from Grant Bernard, able to at least take on 3 defenders and was able to kick it out for the open 3.
Those Bernard brothers averaged 30 between them for the Jags. Gunn makes the move, gets inside. Gunn, a little right-handed layup. Good, he got fouled. Gunn's quickness on that first dribble is just remarkable. Able to get that foul there on Doncor, and he'll go to the line.
Acceleration at its finest from Gunn, and was able to elevate with the right hand, take a little bit of contact off the glass with a kiss, and one.
Gunn, who had a tremendous games in the Jinx Union Invitational. To the line. That's good, and the Red Hawks lead by 2. Grant Bernard brings it up for the Jags. You can tell the Bernard brothers look exactly alike. Doncor underneath, tries to draw the contact, but there's no call. Ball is knocked out of bounds. They're going to call it off Union. They let a little of that go right there. I'm glad to see it. I kind of like it. I didn't think there should have been a call right there, but Nick, that's what you want, a little physicality.
Yeah, especially with all those hands on the ball, trying to at least cause a jump ball, slipped out of bounds, going to be a throw-in for the Jags.
Bernard has to go to Ortiz. Back now to Bernard. Grant dribbles quickly. Doncor corner again. That 3 won't go.
Same spot as last
now
time.
Back outside Bernard. Left-handed 3. No. And Flemings with the rebounds. Gets it off to Gunn. Gunn quickly down court to Manning. Back to Gunn. Screen and roll for Flemings. Gunn's going to go inside. He's going to go up with the right hand. He got it again, and again he got fouled. Again, that first step for Gunn. Ortiz on the foul, and Gunn will go for the N1.
Yeah, with Duncor defending him, it seems like Gunn has the speed to at least pass him super, super fast. So every single time Gunn was taking him to the dribble, he beats him to the spot. Now that's back-to-back and ones. See if Gunn is able to complete this second one.
Great body control by Gunn as well as he
Very
pulled
much
up just
so.
a little short. Free throw is good. Gunn with 6. Union with 8. Bernard looks for a bit of a screen, does not get it. Ortiz out front. Antwi Doncor drops the basketball. Flemings has it. Chappelle quickly to Gunn again. Gunn's going to go inside. Got bumped, puts up the right-hander, and it won't go. Ball's to the corner. Chappelle saved it. He's trapped. Gets inside or tries to, and the ball's taken away. Breakaway, but there's a tremendous move by Chappelle. He almost grabbed that basketball, but he fell as he was getting to it, and Bernard gets the layup, and it's 8-7.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a little bit of like a kickball in that situation, but it fell right into the hands of the Jags, and it's going to be a layup.
So they'll slow the pace here a bit as Gunn will take it out front. Gets inside to Flemings, puts the ball on the ground, goes off the basket, knocks it down, but they'll call a charge.
No, not a charge there. Very much of a falling back in that situation, but it's going to be charge on Flemings. Referee saw a little bit of a flop, it seemed like, but
Yeah, Thorne did a little bit of an Academy Award job right there. Coming up quickly for the three, no good right there by Bernard. Flemings with a rebound. Driver. Back to Gunn. Union will set. Working Flemings a lot outside, goes back to him, but he's knocked around a little bit. No call. Driver's got an opportunity, gets inside. Driver with the little up and under. He didn't get fouled, at least according to the officials. Back down court's Bernard. Left hand, and it's good. We've got a 1-point game.
All the assistants for Union out of their chairs on that previous possession as Driver had a lot of contact on his hip, all that he did not cause.
Well, they let it go on both ends, too, because Gunn did a pretty good job of kind of rattling Westmoore out front. Pass to the inside is a little bit too far. Manning tried to go to Flemings and just threw it over his head.
That's one of those passes where you're trying to make sure you get it high enough for your center to catch it, but if your center can't catch it, 6'8", Coach Garcia is going to be upset every single day of the week in that regard.
Well, motion offense right here. Dunkor stops, doesn't take it. Bernard will take the left-handed three and knocks it down. Westmoore now up by 2. Again, Garrett Bernard averages 16.3 a game, so it's not surprising to see him score the basketball.
Offensive side's gone a little quiet here. See where we're going to go to now.
Gunn out front trying to look at Flemings.
Driver was backdoor, but was guarded up.
Flemings has it down low now, but they'll collapse on him. They do and take it away, but there is a foul. Grant Bernard came inside, slapped the hands in there, and he'll get called. That's the third team foul already on Westmoore, and we still have 3 minutes to go in this quarter.
VR Ortiz with a little hand slap on Flemings.
Flemings passes to Gunn. Driver wanted it for a second, goes inside, goes to Chappelle, takes the three, and that one will not go. Bernard with a rebound. Here he comes, and he's going to drive. Nice job inside by Gunn. Gunn wanted initially to take the charge. Instead, he kind of moved out of the way and just reached out and grabbed it, and that jump ball will go to Union.
Now, instead of Voltaire getting the time off the bench, the aforementioned Jackson McIntyre, who scored 18 in the JV matchup today, comes in off the bench.
When you're hot, you're hot. Let's stick with the hot, right?
Yes, and in this play, he's going to need to be the roll man. In that game, he was more the scorer.
Inside to Flemings, great move, great pass, 2.
That's one of those passes where once they're able to connect on it, it looks a lot better than the turnover the other way.
We are even. Way out front for Bernard. That's a long three, and it's off the back of the rim. And Flemings with a rebound, but it's knocked around. He grabs it again and goes to Gunn.
Good rebound.
Good stick-to-itiveness right there for Flemings. Driver.
They get the switch
back to Gunn. Gunn looked like he was going to take the NBA three and doesn't. Now he will. Gunn hits it up, and he is hit as he went. So that will be a foul, first of all, on Garrett Bernard, and Gunn will shoot 3.
Yeah, the play right there with Garrett Bernard, they're switching the picks. So when in that situation, Flemings had a high screen, Donker was trying to get back on defense. Bernard, late to the play, has to put his hand up. It causes a foul. 3 free throws, and Gunn, unfortunately, unable to hit the first one.
And that is 4 fouls, as I mentioned already in the quarter on Westmoore. That could play big. Second shot for Gunn. No trouble there. And he'll have one more. Third shot on the way and good. Gunn gives Union the 2-point lead. Bernard slowly down court. We'll pick up the pace. Thorne couldn't decide who to go to there and went back to Bernard. That's always a good choice.
Chappelle currently on Donker. It's a mismatch.
Gunn tried for the steal, couldn't get it, and Bernard down court quickly. Little turnaround left-hander, and that's a nice shot, or left move, that is, by Frisbee. He knocks it up and in. Union trails by 1. Driver quickly down court, and he puts it in, and Union up by 1.
By the time it takes Westmoore to get back on that 3-point ball, Driver's already down the court with a bucket.
He has been terrific the last 2 or 3 games. I'm going to call a foul down underneath. I believe they're going to call that one on Chappelle. It's only the second team foul, though, for Union, as heard the announcer say. Inbound under the basket for Grant Bernard. Doncor in the corner. Fleming's on him. He's going to make the little move. Pull back jumper. It won't go. Gunn with the rebound, and here we come.
Good defense from Flemings. A little push off from Doncor, but no call. Back to Flemings.
Flemings, nice little move by Flemings to grab that. Boy, Bernard was underneath. Flemings had to palm it, and he did. And Union up 3.
I think it's going to be a battle right there between Flemings and Doncor. Who's going to score down low?
Bernard on the drive. Pulls up. Left-hander. No good. Flemings hands it to Gunn. 46 seconds to go in the quarter.
High screen.
Turns down the screen. Gunn tried to go around him. Didn't work. Bernard cut him off. Driver out front, covered by Frisbee.
Garcia thinks Coach Garcia wants to hold this ball to the final shot, I believe, telling everyone to kind of hang out for a sec.
Chappelle will come outside to help. Thorne will be on him. 17 and 16 to go here in this first period. Union by 3. Now they run the offense. Thorne back to Chappelle. Out front the driver from 3, and it's a long one. No good. Rebound McIntyre up. He put it in, and he's fouled. McIntyre will go to the line, and I believe that foul will be on Garrett Bernard.
Staying hot is McIntyre tonight. Big rebound, big putback, and the bucket with the foul. Going to complete this 3-point play at this next free throw. We're going to have Jackson Boyd checking in off the bench for Justin Chappelle.
Don't want any fouls in the last few seconds by one of the starters, so that's a good substitution right there by Coach Garcia.
Also, Emmanuel Voltaire coming in off the bench. Don't want to cause a foul here in the final moments, as you said. Well done from Coach Garcia.
McIntyre trying to complete the 3 and cannot. 5 seconds to go. Westmoore is going to try to hurry. He'll get it across half court, but stepping on the line on the far side was Doncor. So with 1.1 seconds to go, Union's going to have an opportunity to put one up.
The defensive players check out. Offensive players check back in. Justin Chappelle, Miles Flemings coming in back off the bench.
18-13 Union, 1.14 seconds to go, so the Redhawks are obviously going to have to hurry. Get it into Flemings, turns real quickly, cannot get it to go, but a nice opportunity. And as we go to the break, the Redhawks lead 18-13. We saw the early lead, Nick, for Union. We saw Westmoore come back, but we're seeing the Redhawks take advantage of really almost every fast break and inside opportunity.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the times Westmoore takes a little bit more time to get back on defense. That transitional defense, got to work back. Especially most of the time, they're looking at that transition defense, and Union is scoring off that. Our guards are going a little bit faster, so it's very, very interesting to see how is Coach Milwee going to tell his boys to make sure we got to get back on defense. But really, really good job from Union, able to set the tempo super high, because I think for the thinking of it, it's going to be a lot better for us if we're pushing and going much faster compared to Westmoore.
So you take the break here at 18-13. If you look for Union right now, who else? Mr. Gunn has 8 points tonight. He's just been everywhere, has Corbin. 4 points tonight for Flemings, and Flemings has done a good job of pushing his advantage inside. Now, they really quickly doubled on him in most of those situations, but when those situations are moving and he's not posted, he's been able to get free, Nick.
Yeah, and a lot of those passes, it all starts with the pass. The pass is the most important thing from it all. It has to be something from at least a nice high pass, but it's also hitting his hand. A good high pass, but it's not going too far. And as a guard, you always want to make sure you focus on at least hitting your guy. If it's too low, then it's going to be a turnover, but if it's going to go over his head, that's kind of like a wasted possession.
So Westmoore will have the ball out of bounds as we begin this second period here at the UMAC, 18-13 Redhawks.
Jackson McIntyre still in the game, coming off the bench, so Coach Rudy Garcia likes the effort that he's putting so far with that nice and one bucket, but now got to stay strong on defense. Redhawks have to.
Grant Bernard will bring it up. His brother Garrett is taking a couple of shots from about right there, and he will not hesitate to do so. He'll get it right side to Doncor. And he's not been hesitating either. He drives, but I believe he is fouled on the outside by Miles as he went try to go by. Flemings did not have his feet in the best position, Nick, so he reached out.
That's exactly right. That's something right there that Coach Geary is super upset at Flemings there. He wasn't having his feet set. You got to have your feet set if you're going to guard so far out.
Doncor is going to take the three, and it's going to be short.
And that's exactly why. I want to let him shoot from far.
Driver quickly down court. Chappelle thought about that three. A lot of contact on the drive, and they will call Grant Bernard on the foul, and he doesn't like it. And honestly, Nick, middle of the first period, we saw that go as not a call.
Slowly transitioning in this second quarter, so I can see his frustration, but you got to make sure that with these inbound plays, we have something good to look forward to.
Fleming's just trying to find someone to get it to. Finally does to Chappelle, who will drive the middle. Goes up. Chappelle can't get it to go down. Doncor with the rebound. And here comes Westmoore.
Pick up ball here.
Bernard back to Doncor, and neither one of these guys are afraid to shoot. Moves to his left, puts it up. Flemings with a rebound, probably his 6th or 7th tonight.
Yeah, well done from Flemings there. He was out of position.
Driver with the quick three, but it's an air ball. Rebound in there to Boyer. Not probably a really good shot right there by Driver. Bernard almost lost it. Now they'll go back out front again. Frisbee's out there. Bernard left-handed. Won't go. Flemings with the rebound again. Gunn. Gonna try to draw the contact from Driver, or pardon me, from not quite there. Chappelle misses the three. It's tapped back out. Flemings wants to put it on the ground. Can't.
McIntyre was able to get his hand on that. Well done.
Oh, what a move inside by Gunn, and he's fouled. Gunn just rocketed past three of those Jaguars. Tried to get it to the hole. Couldn't quite get it there, but the foul called. And he will shoot.
Yeah, Gunn with the acceleration. He's one of the fastest dribblers on the team, fastest dribbler on this court right now, and he's able to beat his defender with the dribble so many times that I feel like the defender has to give him a little bit more space, because if you're going to always try to guard Gunn high, he's going to beat you with his dribble.
First shot is good, and yeah, there's a big difference between being fast and being fast with the basketball.
Yeah.
When you're fast with the basketball, or in any sport, whether it's a football or basketball, it makes a difference. Gunn knocks down the first one, and Manning will come in place of Flemings. Second shot's no good, remains 19-13, and this will be interesting without Flemings in the game. Bernard Brothers out front. To Frisbee, back to Bernard. And to Doncor. Playing a little catch. Bernard inside, nice little move. Can't get it to go. Rebound Gunn. Oh, tried to bounce pass, but it's taken by Bernard. Now bound to the other Bernard, who's going to go up left-handed, and an easy layup.
That's always tough in that situation. But timeout Westmoore. Seemed like Garrett Bernard wasn't back on defense and somehow was able to get the nice little cherry pick layup. I think he was still on the ground from the previous possession. He was letting the referee know, hey, where's my foul? Oh, here's the ball, easy layup.
Todd Milwee calls a timeout. So Coach Milwee's team just scored 19-15. Why the timeout?
I think that's one of those timeouts. We want to remind our players kind of what the game plan is. While we're game planning here with a 4-point lead, we saw it with the Union girls. We had a timeout where we're down by 4 right before half. It's going to be a very interesting possession, because in these final 6 minutes, is Westmoore going to at least capitalize and tie this game up, or are they going to lose the lead even more and this game going to double digits in favor of Union?
5:47 to go in the first half, 19-15 Union. Rick Corey along with Nick Irwin here at the UMAC with you, along with Andy Irwin and then you and the UView crew. Here on the Union Sports Network on YouTube. Thanks for joining. Remember, you can find the playbacks of this right here as well. That way, if you want to critique Nick and I. Ball knocked around. They're going to, looks like, call a foul. Nope. Yes, they did. They called another foul. This one again on one of the Bernard brothers, this time Garrett Bernard.
Manning
That's his third foul.
That is his third foul. It's going to be super early here in the second.
They'll bring in Tristan Ladd, who is a guy who doesn't show up much on the scoring sheet, so that's a big difference right there. Evan Boyer also in the game right now for Westmoore. Driver is fouled out front, and that one by Tristan Ladd, who just came into the game. That'll be the fourth foul on Westmoore with 5:29 to go in this period.
Tristan Ladd had a lot of time in the JV game for Westmoore, so getting some playing time early so far.
Driver might try to take him to the bucket right here, and here he does. Driver pulls up and hits it. Oh, Driver has been so good lately. Tristan Driver. That's 4 for him, 21-15.
Attacking the bench player. Love the confidence.
Bernard from way outside. It's an air ball. Collected by Manning. Gunn way down court, and it's intercepted. Oh, Gunn had Driver. Could not quite get it there, and here comes Westmoore. Turned down the 3, did the Jags, and they'll go way back out front to Bernard. Doncor is going to get stuck inside, now back outside. Right side 3 is good. That is a big right side 3 right there by Frisbee. That one makes it 21-18, and they didn't have much going there, Nick.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to be a scoreless possession, but the 3 from Frisbee came out of nowhere. Well
Gunn
done.
somehow got out of that. He was double teamed there for a moment. Gets it to Chappelle. Chappelle drives, has contact inside. That left-handed layup is good by Manning. Great job by Chappelle.
Chappelle was able to drive, get enough of the defender, dumped it down to Manning. Good left-hand lay.
23-18. Westmoore will go back inside. Doncor is going to back him down. Boy, that's a lot of contact they let him get away with right there. Ball ends up inside. Driver with it. Out front to Gunn. He's got an easy layup, and he's going to dunk it. Corbin
Gunn.
Good job by Driver to collect that basketball, 25-18.
Westmoore losing just a little bit of confidence here.
Trap in the corner by Union. Almost pulled it off. Gunn way out front. Chappelle misses. Westmoore drives it inside. The ball looked like it was blocked by Gunn, but they're going to call a foul right there. And going to the free throw line will be Tristan Ladd. And I don't know if he got him with a body, Nick, but that sure looked like the ball was, or the hand was on the ball to me.
Yeah, a lot of hand covering the ball. It could have been a jump ball situation or even a block, but Ladd goes to the free throw line nonetheless.
First one bounces around and in. Substitutions as Grayson Whalen will come in. And Antwi Doncor will have a seat for Westmoore, and he has been big tonight. Flemings will come back in as well.
Some really good time right there from McIntyre. He was in there for a lot of the time, so getting some bench play from there as Flemings checked in for him.
Second shot's no good. Driver with a rebound, and Union will bring it down court up by 6. 3:20 to go in this first half. Chappelle calling out. Driver back to Chappelle. Inside to Flemings, and that ball is just knocked away. Flemings looked like he was going to turn and easily lay that thing in, and out of nowhere came Grant Bernard to knock it away.
Yeah, those guards typically slide underneath the radar. Was able to get a good hand on it, swipe it enough. Fleming's got to make sure when he's catching it, it's going up high, and it's also going to be a nice firm grip to it.
Flemings was looking at his arm as though he got scraped right there. He'll come inbounds to Driver. He'll go back out front to Gunn, and here we go. Gunn picked up the dribble. He's going to need some help. It comes from Driver. Inside. Look at wide open inside is Manning, and he got fouled going up. I believe that one should be on Ortiz. And it will be, and that's on Ortiz. And that's a shooting foul, but was also foul number 5 in this period for Westmoore. So there'll be 2 shots the rest of the way with 3 minutes to go, and the Red Hawks should take advantage of that.
3 minutes seems like an eternity here for at least 2 free throws.
Oh, Manning's first one just begs its way over the front of the rim.
But that was one of those situations where Manning was so wide open because Driver, when he was driving it, he had 2 players collapse on him. So with the amount of players that they have, someone's got to be open.
Voltaire checks back in. He'll take the place of Flemons. Second shot again hits the front of the rim and crawls its way in, so Manning gets 2 to fall. 27-19 Redhawks. Bernard down court. He wants this shot badly. Driver will not stop pestering him. Now he picks up the dribble. He's a long way from the bucket, and it's stolen by Chappelle. Chappelle inside. Layup Voltaire, and it's good. Give Chappelle credit. He found Voltaire flashing down the lane and gave him 2.
Some big-time points from Voltaire and Manning. Love to see it, as there's going to be a foul here on the floor.
I think it's Driver as he was chasing.
He's the one on the floor.
It's a long way from the basket, and it's only going to be the third team foul. Driver just took the chance to knock that thing away and could not. They'll check Garrett Bernard back in. He averages again 16-3, and he has 7 so far tonight. Bernard to Bernard, backcourt. Here come the Jags. Move inside. Nice one, too. He's going to go back to the corner. Nobody open there. Bernard again. He'll pull back. Left-hander is good. Well, you can see why he averages. Bernard with 3 more.
A lot of confidence there from Bernard.
And a knockaway. Bernard has it. He'll put the left-hander up. Voltaire flies by. Bernard gets it to go. 5 for Bernard in the last 30 seconds.
Pump fakes are huge. Anytime you're going for a pump fake, it's always going to get a guy jumping. Got to stay home on that block from Voltaire.
And now in under 2 minutes to go, the Redhawks need to settle it down a little bit. Almost had it stolen away again as Bernard was trying to get a hand in there on that pass to Gunn.
Bernard was saying, that's our ball. I think you're the one that hit it out of play.
Minute 47 to go. Flemons will check back in. 29-24 Union. This is the first half. Union's girls won earlier in overtime. They seem to have an affinity for playing that extra 4.
Yeah. With Flemings with Donkor on them, it's going to be interesting what Coach Garcia likes to see down low at the number 5.
Remember, again, 5 fouls on Westmoore, so any foul will send Union to the line. Gunn. Back out front. Manning inside the driver. Chappelle, little pull up at the free throw line. Got it to go.
Silky smooth shot from Justin Chappelle. Find the mid-range, find the space. And you found the bucket, Chappelle. Nice shot.
Came across that around that screen, realized he had room, and just rose up. Bernard from way outside, but he is not opposed to taking that shot. Bernard, number 2, drives inside, and they're going to call a foul before he got there, and he's lucky, Nick, because he lost control of the ball, went right into the hands of a Union player, and at best that was going to be a jump.
And that's one of those situations where we're on our 4th foul. So next foul is going to be free throws for Westmoore. I want to be careful in these final 60.
Inbounds way out front to Donkor. He drives inside. Nice little move. Puts up the left-hander, and it's good. Redhawks did a nice job of not fouling him. It's 31-26.
Yeah, Manning knew right there. He played it pretty aggressive and overcommitted there.
Flemons to Gunn. 47 seconds to go. No need to hurry here for the Redhawks. Flemons will come out to set the screen. Gunn gets around that. Off to Chappelle from 3, and that's going to go off the side of the rim. And here comes Bernard. He's got room, creates contact, and puts up the left-handed shot, and it goes in. Way down court to Flemons. Flemons, little up and in, and it's down. 33-28. Give Gunn great credit. He underhanded that thing 3/4 of the court.
That was a really impressive pass from Gunn.
12 seconds to go, now 11. Bernard with the drive. Oh, he traveled. He traveled, there's no question. Tried to have the little skip step there, and he kind of, I think, got caught between 2 thoughts, Nick, and eventually turned the ball over.
Can't do 2, got to do 1 of them, and so it's going to be a turnover there, but 8 seconds left. Don't want to waste this possession right before the half. Want to extend the lead. Driver's going to let this ball roll out to keep that clock going.
Just under 8 seconds to go. Here comes Driver. Almost lost control of it. He's going to turn, take the short-range jump shot. No good. Flemons with the rebound. Flemons drives inside, but cannot get the shot up. Oh, boy.
Got to have some awareness there, Flemons.
That's where you just go ahead and maybe put it on the ground once if you do and throw it up. At any rate, it will remain a 33-28 game here at the half. The Redhawks lead after a pretty good first half. We did see the Bernard brothers do play really well, but we also saw Corbin Gunn have a really nice half.
Yeah, his ability to score and find the assist, that's what's going to be the benefactor for this second half.
So we'll get back to you in the second half here in just a moment. Union 33, Westmoore 28 at the half here at the UMAC.
Dad, don't forget about my new cleats.
Sweetie, I can't make it to Dick's this week.
Have you heard of Dix.com?
Have I heard of Dix.com? Have I heard of Dix.com? Whoa.
Don't overthink it. Let's go shopping.
Actually, what I need are some cleats.
How about one of these?
Great.
Done. Anything else?
No, golf club? Not for me.
Yeah,
Friend.
of course, of course.
Anyone impressed with how fast that was?
Yeah,
I know. I went to Dix.com.
Thank you. I love you.
Well, I went to Dix.com. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, I told you about that.
Does your school or organization need athletic apparel or spirit wear? Let me suggest Inkwell, a Tulsa-based company that can get you the quality you deserve at unheard of and unmatched lead times. Talking 2 weeks or less, not 2 months like most others, and can do it as much as 60% less than most of the big guys out there. So join the likes of Sand Springs, Union, Broken Arrow, Jinx, Oolaga, and Glenpool to name a few, and get your customized sublimated uniforms, including Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas at InkwellNation.com.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
When summer heats up and your AC isn't working right, be cautious of being pressured into a replacement.
It's always a good idea to get a second opinion, and Airco will let you know if your AC is worth fixing.
So call Airco today for a free second opinion.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
Select Commercial Group, a part of Coldwell Banker Select, is a highly reputable and professional firm specializing in commercial real estate services, a premier sponsor of the Union Red Hawks.
Hey Union fans, score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Union Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Congratulations once again, Emery Lovelace, your Pinnacle Home Design Teacher of the Game. For custom home design, home remodeling, or additions, visit pinnacledesignco.com.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make the sub above.
Hey, Union fans, score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Union Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Does your school or organization need athletic apparel or spirit wear? Let me suggest Inkwell. A Tulsa-based company that can get you the quality you deserve at unheard of and unmatched lead times. Talking 2 weeks or less, not 2 months like most others, and can do it as much as 60% less than most of the big guys out there. So join the likes of Sand Springs, Union, Broken Arrow, Jake's, Coolagon, and Glenpool to name a few. Get your customized sublimated uniforms, including Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas at inkwellnation.com.
Well, you're missing an absolutely fabulous basketball game if you're not here. If you're still with us on the stream, then congratulations. We're back at halftime. Rick Corey along with Nick Irwin as Union leads Westmoore. And this is a really interesting basketball game. We had Union get up big. Westmoore made a nice comeback. And they've done a good job of getting what they can in from Flemons, but also getting Gunn going.
Yeah, and that's what we're always trying to focus is either going through Gunn or if we're going to focus, we got to get down low with Flemons. But I would like to highlight some of those bench players that we've been seeing a lot of. McIntyre, Voltaire, and especially I feel like with Manning, those three have been scoring a couple points off the bench. But if all your bench players are scoring maybe 2, 3, 4 points there, I think it's very interesting to note because those add up later in the game.
Tristan Driver's been good again. He's had a really good tournament in that Union Jinx tournament. He brings a little bit of both. He's got a little gun in him. He's got a little Chappelle in him, and he kind of combines the two, and he's aggressive.
A lot of speed, of speed. Sometimes it might be out of control, but if it's out of control, he's able to find other players as well. So with that, he's typically looking for Flemings, and a lot of those times we've seen a couple passes down low to Manning, and Manning's 4 points coming off the bench. Well done.
Grant and Garrett Bernard are the two who really kind of key everything for Westmoore. And although both have been good, they've been held a little bit in check.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of these shots from those brothers that typically they're three-pointers that are kind of falling away, maybe not as confident. But we do not want them to heat up in the second half, so that's what I'm kind of focusing on with the defensive side. We don't want those brothers to kind of feel that confidence, catch fire, because I feel like they're going to play off each other very well.
So teams are back on the court here. We about 1 minute and 21 seconds to go before we get this thing underway. And we did see, as Nick mentioned right there, Robbie Manning had some good moments. Voltaire had some moments. Biggest deal for me, I think, probably, not only is the play pretty good, the Union boys have been really good lately, but they took advantage when they had opportunities on what you would call kind of garbage balls or garbage points, anything that bounced around underneath. Flemons, I thought, probably should have taken a quicker shot on that last play. However, he's done a nice job of getting position.
Yeah, and when he's fighting for position, he's as 6'8" is his height. He usually has the height advantage. So using that height doesn't want to go too fast, playing slower than usual. And that's the thing where I'm wanting to see from him is when he gets the ball down low, he doesn't have to dribble. He just has to make a couple moves, and then he'll be able to hopefully find an open man or a nice score.
And remember, in District 6A3, these two teams, Union and Westmoore, tied at 5-1 when it comes to overall district record, although Union leads by far when it comes to district points at 71-44. So this game from a district point standpoint makes some difference, but also from a district standing standpoint. And, of course, that makes the bigger difference as Union would fall one game behind if they were to lose. They have not trailed in this game very often, and they lead 33-28 as we prepare to prepare to begin the second half. You mentioned McIntyre. We see Boyd a lot as well, although we didn't see him a ton this first half. You expect more minutes for McIntyre in the second half?
I think that's what Coach Garcia is really liking so far, is the amount of time coming off the bench for McIntyre. And we did say in the first half, last game earlier today in the JV game, he had I don't know if it was a career high, but 18 points. So he was feeling himself in the JV game. So I think that's what Coach Garcia is seeing and want to reward him. But as you always talk about competition, who's going to be starting over who. But one of those things that we talk about is if it's going to be McIntyre, Manning, Voltaire, you usually side with the seniority. But if he's giving you good minutes, good defense, and some scoring here and there, I don't think we would break that up. So we'll see what happens in the second half as he does take a seat on the bench, though.
So Manning will start the second half. Ball into Gunn, and we are underway. Union with a 5-point lead. Gunn to Chappelle. Quickly collapsed on inside, and that's a turnover as the ball's knocked around, and eventually coming out of there was Ortiz. So at half possession goes immediately back. Down court quickly goes Bernard, and he lays it in. It looks like what Coach Milwee's halftime speech was, be aggressive, 33-30.
You want to light the fire for these brothers.
Very aggressive defense right there, too. Underneath the Manning, and there's another one of those buckets Nick talked about. That's 6 now for Manning, and Union regains a 5-point lead.
Now with Manning starting, it's big-time points here in showtime.
Bernard dribbles middle, goes underneath. Doncor is fouled, and Flemons looked at the official like, no, I didn't, but yeah, you did.
A lot of contact.
There was.
As Flemons always usually has the strength advantage, and so when that strength advantage is seen down low, sometimes if you're not catching all ball, any contact to the hand or body, it's going to be a tough foul.
To the line goes Ortiz, misses the first, and, Flemons left his feet a little bit. If you're going to foul in that situation, make it count, and he pretty good body block on there.
He was able to get one of them taken off the board. So
second one goes to Ortiz, and that one is good. 35-31 Redhawks.
Nice little student section here on a Tuesday night. Always getting super busy. We had some good student sections last week in the Union Jinx Invitational, so shout out to them for coming out.
It really extended that defense as Westmoore. Chappelle picked up his dribble, but actually got helped as it got knocked away, and then there's a play from behind by Antwi Doncor, and he gets called for the foul, and Union is fortunate because that was tipped straight to another Jaguar.
Yeah, I think the reason why it was dispossessed from the Union player was because of the foul. So good call there on Doncor, and that's going to stay in possession of Union as Driver looks to set it up.
Goes back court quickly. Gunn has it up again, and now we're going to go middle to Manning, and he has it taken away. It's a really good job right there by Ortiz, and here come the Jaguars with a couple of takeaways already in this half. Bernard to the hole, turns, little fadeaway, won't go. Flemons with a rebound. They get that ball down to Gunn, and here we go. Gunn has Driver down court. Gunn moves middle, Driver, 3. Off the rim. Knocked around by Gunn, though, and he saved it.
Good hand from Chappelle.
Inside, Flemons has the position, turns and shoots. Flemons turned that right shoulder, went up and under, and it's a 37-31 game.
Gunn able to find him down low. Saw that there wasn't very many players down low. Good read from Flemings down low as well.
Grant Bernard to his brother. Quickly from way outside, that 3 goes in. Didn't want to initially, but Garrett able to get it to go, and it's a 4-point game. 3-point game, pardon me.
Coach Milweed really likes the brothers being very aggressive in the second half. Definitely something that we can see from them.
He pretty clearly told them, you're going to win it or lose it. Bernard, inside again. Flemons turns, scores.
And how do we counter it? We go down low with Flemons once again. If we're going to fight fire with fire, that's who we want to go to.
Well, you're not going to, if it's going to be 3s for 2s, I'll take those 2s. They're a higher percentage shot. Bernard could not get past Chappelle. Good defense there. Thorne takes it right back to Bernard.
Looks like a little zone here from Union. Flemons in the middle.
Little up and under right there from Wow, Bernard, and it's good. And it wasn't bad defense. Forced Bernard into a very awkward shot, and he still was able to roll it in.
He was able to get enough side spin on it to get it off the backboard. Tough layup.
Manning comes for the screen, backs away to Manning. Got a little short runner off the backboard, won't quite go. Flemings with a rebound. Big man puts his shoulder down, can't hit it.
Got to execute on those from Fleming's side.
Doncor with the rebound, Bernard. And he's going to pull back and shoot again and cannot get it to go. Chappelle with the rebound. Here come the Red Hawks.
Back and forth.
A little playground basketball here. Chappelle off the glass, won't go. Here comes Bernard. 2-on-2. Bernard goes inside. Gunn knocks it away. Brilliant defensive play. That was going to be a one-on-one break with Bernard on Manning, and Gunn knocked it away.
Going to be a foul on Gunn down low. He was going for the swipe, got a lot of contact there. Referee says it is a foul. Westmoore underneath.
So I didn't hear the whistle initially. Out front, Bernard has a wide open three, can't get it to go. Rebound in there by Gunn. Had Driver down court, turned down the pass. Now he'll hand it off to Driver, though. Runs the screen. Back to Gunn. Manning coming to help. Oh, it's a nice screen by Manning. Bernard. Gunn, though, went underneath it. Back out to Driver from three. Yes! Oh, boy, Gunn set that up as pretty as you can, and Todd Milwee wants a timeout.
Timeout after the three ball from Driver. Big time shot. Going to be a timeout Union, so I think Union might want to talk this one over. 6-point lead for the Red Hawks. It's going to be interesting to note that this 6-point lead here in the third quarter, is it going to be something that's going to fall back to a tie ball game, or is Union going to be able to take the advantage and maybe get this to double digits before the fourth quarter starts?
Well, I thought that was Milwee on the timeout. Instead, it was Coach Garcia, and I wonder right there if he just wants to slow it a little bit. And I don't mean, we're not going to play any Dean Smith four corners, but it was getting a little bit kinetic, and I'm not sure that's what Coach wanted.
Yeah, the back and forth kind of playground ball, as you noted, seems a little bit too fast for us. We don't want to go back and forth scoreless. We want to make sure that we're getting our points on the offensive side. So on the defensive side, I think it's a good timeout from Coach Garcia, kind of letting them know and say, hey, we're going to make sure that we know how to play on defense in this third quarter.
Westmoore down with the basketball, trailing now by 6 with 3:33 to go, third period. Garrett Bernard to Grant. Doncor out front. Tries to make a move. Can't get past Manning. Got bumped a little, but no call there. Bernard really wants that shot. Chappelle's all over him. Bernard spins back. Nice little pullback. Bernard spun to the left and then spun back to the right, knocks down two more, and he has 14.
I don't want to let him get hot in this third quarter. That's exactly what Coach Milwee would like.
Chappelle thought about the three, turned it down. Manning did a nice job of gathering that in. Back to Chappelle, wide open, and no. Oh, it wanted to go down. Here comes Garrett Bernard. Takes it back out front. Now inside, a layup right there, and a tremendous job by Ivan Antwi Doncor. He hesitated, Nick, and laid it in. It's a 2-point game.
Lane opened up immensely. He was kind of surprised how wide open he was for just a moment, but they still play on.
Driver back to Gunn. Inside. Nice job once again by Flemings to get the position, and great job by Gunn to see that goes down, and once again, it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, Flemings able to find the positioning, had Doncor on his hip perfectly so that he was able to make the turn immediately into the bucket.
And what a nice pass by Gunn. Bernard, he's going to shoot it from there. It's going to be short, but it bounces right back to Westmoore. On the drive inside once again, it is not going to be good. Driver with the rebound. He's going to go to the bucket. Almost knocked down. Tries to get it out, and it's saved by Gunn. Inside to Manning. Manning lays it up and in. Oh, my. What a series.
Double digits for Manning now with 10 points.
What a save by Gunn. That ball should have just rolled out of bounds. Westmoore. Back down court. 3 ball. No good. Rebound, though. Inside for Bernard. Puts up the lefty. Won't go again. Flemings knocked it around. Manning with the rebound. Here comes Gunn. Numbers inside. Chappelle, almost dropped it, but gathered it back in. Gunn tried to get it inside to Flemings, and again, here comes Westmoore. Bernard does not care that it's 2-1-1, goes inside and scores.
Timeout, Westmoore.
Oh, what a series right there.
Just going back and forth from both sides.
46-42, pardon me, Union. And I think both coaches at that point were probably wanted to get a timeout, but I don't think you had time to call one, Nick.
I feel like in this case, it seems like this back and forth has a lot of conditioning going back and forth, so you obviously want to make sure that your boys are still able to at least run and gun. But I know right now, it does favor the Bernard brothers to be able to at least go a little bit faster. But when you think about it, we also have Gunn and Driver who also like to go fast as well. So I feel like they kind of counter each other back and forth. They both want to go fast on one end, all the way to the other end as well.
I'm not sure whether we're watching basketball or NASCAR. At some point, they're just not turning left a lot, but they are getting up and down the court as fast as you can imagine.
And now it's a dance party with Palm.
Got to have a little entertainment.
Got to have a little entertainment.
Chappelle is doing his best. Jim Brown walked back down court, and you'll have to Google that one, but Jim Brown always acted like he was the most tired in history, and he'd get up and make another 16-yard run, and Chappelle was kind of walking down there like he's tired, but trust me, when the moment comes, he'll explode. Under a minute to play, 4-point Union lead here in this third period. Manning, who's been terrific tonight, gets it back to Gunn. Gunn drives. He's going to go inside. Tremendous job by Flemings to clear the way. Gunn two more.
Really good separation there.
Bernard back inside. Flips around to the right side. Three-pointer. It's good. Posted up and just sitting out there at the left all by himself was Doncor. And he had no trouble. Pardon me, that wasn't Doncor, that was Ortiz. And he knocks down the three, 48-45.
Ortiz with his three ball.
But he took his time too, didn't he? He studied it. He looked.
Wide open.
Union will play for the last shot. Under 18 to play here. In this third period, Redhawks up by 3. Coach Garcia is going to get it to Gunn, and here we go. 9 seconds, 8, 7, 6, Gunn. Now he's going to take the three. Gunn falls down, but he was fouled. Oh, and that foul is going to go on Garrett Bernard. That's his third, and he doesn't like the call, and to the line for three is Gunn. That's the last thing Coach Milwee wanted, and he's making that known to one of the officials. First shot, nothing but net. 2 more for Gunn. Oh, that one's going to fall out. You could almost see Gunn when he let that one go, Nick. He kind of had a look when he kind of leaned in like, oh. Little body language, but it didn't help.
But as the defense substitutions come in, Jackson Boyd and Jackson McIntyre check in.
1 more for Gunn. He's 1 for 2 on this trip. That one will go, so 2 for 3, and the lead now becomes 50-45, Redhawks.
Corbin Gunn takes a seat on the bench. We're going to have Voltaire check in, yeah.
Voltaire, McIntyre, Boyd, Manning. Desperation shot is nowhere near for Westmoore, and so we will head to quarter number 4. Redhawks lead 50-45, and other than a pace that I don't think either head coach was terribly comfortable with, sure made for an entertaining third quarter, didn't it?
Yeah, it seemed like it was very much more pushing the pace, going a little bit faster than usual. And when we're pushing the pace, we're able to find a little bit more action down low with Flemings and Gunn. But I'm curious to see where, other than the Bernard brothers, are going to step up for Westmoore. I know there are only 2 of them, but it seems like from Garrett and Grant Bernard, there's going to need to be someone else. Maybe Doncor is going to be able to step up because it seems like he has the ability and the athleticism, but just not the scoring points.
He's the guy who's done it most of the year. Outside those 2 brothers, he's averaged 13-7. Past that, no one has averaged more than 5.9 for Westmoore. On the other side of things, though, you're seeing, I don't want to say a career night, but you're seeing the kind of night from Manning that can certainly change a basketball game.
And especially with changing basketball games, it can honestly change a season, because if he's able to have this confidence that, hey, I can have a night like this, I can score 10 points, double digits, and we're not even done with the fourth quarter. We have another quarter to work with. So it's going to be important to see if he's able to take that and possibly make it even more, because that's going to tell Coach Garcia that we can possibly have him more on the starting side, but it also builds that confidence to say, hey, I can make these buckets. My teammates trust me to execute. But here in this fourth quarter, Coach Garcia is actually going to be in favor of Jackson McIntyre, maybe more on the defensive side.
So McIntyre, who, as you mentioned, had a tremendous JV game. I was here for most of that one as well up here, and he scored almost at will. So here we go. Fourth period underway. Union by 5. Way out front is Bernard. It won't go, and Flemings chases down the long rebound.
And I think that's what Coach Millweed wants, those three balls to start falling, but if they're not falling, you can't call a heat check. So great defense from Union.
Gunn's going to take his time. McIntyre trying to get free and can't, so he sets a screen.
Spacing.
Back to McIntyre. He's got room. He'll take the shot and knocks it down. Now, are they going to call that 3 or are they going to call that 2?
I believe that was a three-pointer right there. Big ball from Jackson McIntyre.
So an 8-point lead. Quickly down court. Westmoore and Bernard's going to push it. Comes inside, spins, turns, can't get it to go. Chappelle with the rebound. Quickly down court to Gunn once again. Corbin will settle it. Asks for the screen, and Flemings will provide it. Dribbles past a couple. Ooh, almost had an opportunity for Chappelle. He'll drive inside. Goes back out front to McIntyre. McIntyre drives. A little one-handed floater. Oh, it won't go. Fleming with the rebound.
Back up.
Tried to get back up and got fouled. And he's fortunate, Nick, because he went down with it. Boy, there were a lot of hands in there.
When you go down at 6'8", that's around the level of everybody else. So keep it up there so you don't have to be swatted at. Makes those putbacks so much easier. Get the ball high, keep it up high.
So Flemings will step to the line for 2. He's a good free throw shooter, as I absolutely right there jinxed him. You know it, the play-by-play guy should never say a guy's a good free throw shooter. I apologize, Miles. See, the fat guy's quiet and he knocks it down, all right? 8-point lead now for the Redhawks. 9-point lead, pardon me, 54-45. Bernard. Oh, little spin move inside there and then kind of looped the basketball. Now he's going to drive. Good move inside. Back out. Three-pointer on the way, and it's good. And that was Doncor on that 3. And, again, he's a guy who averages a bunch. So it's a 6-point game. Driver will take his time. 6 minutes to go in this basketball game. Chappelle. There's a difference, too, Nick, and you know this, between taking your time and getting stagnant. You don't want to do that.
Make sure you're finding the good open look.
Boyd.
Fleming's on the perimeter.
Oh, they're going to call the block on Bernard, and he doesn't like it. He and Boyd having quite the battle out there. That'll be foul number 4 on Garrett Bernard. That's a big deal. Garrett averages 16-3 a game. He has 16 tonight. They won't sit him, though. Oh, that ball's almost thrown away. Picked up in the backcourt by Driver. Union will sit. Gunn almost dropped it. Drives underneath on Bernard. Tried the little fade back, thought about it, and throws it off the foot of Driver. Oh, he wanted to put the little fade back in there. The coverage was a little bit too tight, thought better of it, and then just threw a low pass.
Yeah, it was a tough pass there from Gunn. He wanted to go up with that shot, decided to go with the pump fake, and then kind of was a bailout throw.
Bernard way outside. Three-pointer from, again, way outside is no good. Long rebound goes to Westmoore. Nice little inside drive, and the left-hander won't go. Flemings with the rebound and bounced it off Doncor. What a play by Miles Flemings. At 6'8", he was able to keep the toe in bounds and slam that thing off Doncor to keep possession to the Redhawks.
Yeah, the athleticism from that is really tough. Being able to fall out of bounds, enough power to get it off the leg, and then for it to go straight out of bounds. That's one of the hardest things, to hit the player right in front of you and to get it out of bounds.
So it's 54-48 Union. 4:56 to go here in this basketball game. Driver got some room. Left-hander Driver puts it down. Nice job by Flemings to stay there, clear the lane, and Driver hits it.
Pick and roll, keep it on the left. Well done from Driver. Causes the turnover too.
Almost. Ball comes back down. Putting it up was Bernard, and he drew the foul from Flemings. That'll be the fourth on Flemings, and you can guarantee they'll go at big number 22 in this last 4.5 minutes.
Looked like Driver possibly got hit in the face or in the eye when I mistakenly thought it was going to be a turnover. A lot of contact down low, and they're still able to get a foul in favor of Westmoore.
Garrett Bernard steps to the line. There's his 17th point of the night, just a little above his average. Chance to add to that here. If he hits this one, he'll make it a 6-point game. And no trouble. Boy, he is a pure shooter.
It's a really good shot from the free throw line.
Redhawks will not push the pace here. I think Coach Garcia would be very happy to slow it a little bit.
Jaguars just staying around, not really getting too big of a lead right here for Union. Trying to make this double digits.
Gunn wants to press it, but cannot. Moves it back out front. Chappelle. They're fronting and they're trying to front as they can. That's an inside steal. That's a tremendous steal inside right there by the Westmoore Jaguars. Up and under, and that's going to go right. The foul going to go on Union, as that was Bernard who tried to draw both the foul and the bucket, but he couldn't get the bucket. And that'll be out of bounds to Westmoore. Doncor inside. He's got McIntyre on him. Watch him try to make the drive. Here he comes. Doncor turns, got himself all the way inside. Could not get it to go. McIntyre with the rebound.
Huge
Tremendous play by
defense.
McIntyre.
Huge defense from McIntyre.
Gunn inside. Flemings. Oh, yeah, and he jams it. Great look by Gunn to see down court, and to Flemings to catch that ball and go straight in.
It's a really good catch up at the top.
Bernard breaks that press or that zone and just goes right to the basket, and we are a 4-point or a 6-point game, pardon me. Gunn again. Inside again to Flemings. They're going to collapse on him in a hurry, and they do, but he turns and falls, and they're going to call the travel. Flemings turned. He had a couple on him, and people kind of pawing at the back, and he fell. So this will go back to the Jaguars. They're down by 6 with 3:23 to go.
Student section not happy with that call and letting the referee know right there about
Neither was Flemings, yeah. Bernard Brothers playing a little catch out front from way outside. Bernard can't get it to go. Chappelle with another rebound. Quickly to Gunn. Gunn off to Flemings. Flemings going to drive it, put it up, no good. Bernard with the rebound. Tried to get it down court quickly, but he almost lost it. Good defense there by McIntyre. Bernard driving. Doncor, corner. 3. No good. Flemings fighting for the rebound. It's going to go off the hands of one of the Jaguars. And it will be Red Hawk basketball.
Timeout.
And that was Thorne who was fighting for that basketball. Give him credit. He's a lot shorter, but he was able to get up and at least get a fight going in there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That was something that Flemings had a hand on it, but even though he didn't have both hands on it, it's going to be important to at least get a kind of maybe a knock around, maybe knock it off Flemings. So it was knocked out in favor of the Redhawks. So the final 2:44 in this fourth quarter. I'm seeing a little bit of complacency on that offensive side for Union. It's one of those situations where if you are not finding your first open shot, continue to swing the ball. We can still take time off the clock. You don't have to find the shot in the next minute or so. We have the lead, but we don't want to decide that we're going to stay at 58 for the rest of the game.
Stars are stars, and if you look at that, the Stars have been that. Garrett Bernard, 18 tonight for Westmoore. His brother Grant Bernard, 13 tonight for Westmoore, and Doncor, 10. That's 41 of the 52. On the other side, 15 for Gunn, 15 for Flemons. Not a surprise. And Manning in double digits tonight, and then 9 points right now for Driver. 2:44 to go, and if you're Union, you don't want to just try to, save the 2:44. You've still got to play your offense, but you do want to make sure you're getting good shots.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm also noting that Jackson McIntyre still in the game. Haven't seen Robbie Manning. Haven't seen Voltaire in the substitution, so he's liking what he's seeing as Coach Garcia looks on.
Well, he has added some instant offense tonight, and he's played good defense, too. Fleming's a long way from the basket. He's going to have some help. Gets it from Chappelle. And Union will reset. Westmoore pushing that defense out. Chappelle drives, tries to get that shot up, but is fouled. That foul will go against Ortiz, and it will be out of bounds for the Redhawks. Now 2:20 to go. Got to be careful in this inbounds. Westmoore's touched a lot of these inbounds plays.
And McIntyre on the back door.
Got to hurry. Gets it into Fleming. Flemings wants to drive, goes to McIntyre. McIntyre inside. Nice little move, and there's a foul inside as McIntyre goes to the bucket.
A lot of contact on the lower end. I know the Westmoore fans think that's a little bit clean up top, but there was a lot. He couldn't let him fall. You got to let your defender fall, and he took a lot of knee into the gut on that.
Yeah, Anton Doncor put a lot of body right there on McIntyre. He'll step to the line.
And that's what I think Coach Milwee is having a conversation with the referee, just saying, what did you see here as McIntyre unable to make the first one.
They wanted to go down and decided against it.
We see free throws being the kryptonite with both boys and girls team so far.
Second one for McIntyre is good. It makes it 59-52, 7-point lead, 2:12 to go. Manning checks back in. And, again, Manning tonight has been very good. 10 points, good defense, and a big rebounder.
Yes. And we're also going to have Finn Frisbee for Westmoore checking in.
It's a fun name.
It is very much of a fun name. Checked in for Thorne.
Bernard to the bucket, or else he's going to put it up, and he puts it in. And that wasn't bad defense. That young man can just score. Minute 56 now and counting. 5-point lead for the Redhawks. Gunn is not going to be in any hurry at all. Chappelle turns down the screen, drives. Inside to Flemons. Flemons lays it in left hand. Brilliant feed by Chappelle. And now 17 for Flemons.
Transition defense.
Doncor wanted that three, turned it down, instead went to Bernard. Bernard pushes. Little step. They're going to call the foul, and it looked to me like Bernard might have almost traveled right after that. But you got to give Bernard credit. He classically creates contact to get the foul.
Yeah, when he's possibly intending to do so, but the referee calls slap on the arm. Seemed like Gunn had his hands straight up.
Bernard again tries to get inside. Shot from the right side. That one coming all the way out on the right side that came from Frisbee. And he hit that three, and it's a 4-point game.
Super impressive shot. The pass was already towards his face. The shot stayed around his face, and he was able to put up the shot in the same motion. Frisbee coming off the bench and still being able to hit a pretty clutch three, cutting this game to a 4-point lead.
You saw Coach Garcia had a little bit of a smile on his face, kind of like, well, you got to give him that. I mean, that's just a nice play.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that, Coach Milwee wants to live by.
No.
Especially for coming off from the bench, but it just seems like that's something they'll live with.
That's the that's the typical no, good shot.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. 4 points, that's the lead for Union. Minute 19 to go here in this basketball game. Union girls won earlier in a similarly important game in overtime, their third overtime win in a row, or third overtime game in a row. So the boys looking to hold on here. They have had the lead most of the night, had extended it a little You got to give Westmoore credit. They're after you. And the Bernard brothers don't care where they shoot from. They're just going to go down and try to create contact and shoot.
Yeah, they're very aggressive in that manner. And so when I think they're so aggressive at times, they're very aggressive, but they're able to maintain the ball. And when they're aggressive and maintain the ball, it's not a turnover. It's usually a shot or it's going to be a foul. So it's a really, really keen and niche way of scoring. And Garrett Bernard and Grant Bernard do a really, really good way of doing that.
Four fouls tonight, or in this quarter, pardon me, on Westmoore. So they will send Union to the line and probably do that on purpose. Union only with 3. They have 1 to give. Chappelle will take his time. Now crosses half court, 1:10 to play. Chappelle drives. Cuts inside, tries to get it to Flemons, and the ball is deflected out of bounds. He continued up. He had the layup, Nick.
I think that was one of those times you got to be a little selfish, Justin Chappelle, but still our ball, maintain that possession, and we'll be able to knock more time out this clock.
McIntyre gets it into Flemons. He's trapped, but going to put the ball on the ground, and at that time, that's when Coach Garcia calls a timeout. Good trap right there by Westmoore, and Flemons looked like he might, Nick, been able to dribble out of it, but that's a good job by Rudy.
Yeah, a lot of the times Flemons believes that he'll be able to make a couple moves or a nice dribble, and that's where the turnovers show up. So with his ability to at least dribble, I saw a dribble being picked up, a trap happening, and that's when Coach Garcia wanted to make sure that there was a timeout in that moment.
So with this 1:02 to go, if you're Coach Garcia, what are you dialing up offensively?
I'm making sure that I have a nice set play to open someone up. Maybe a screen, off-ball screen to move it around, get someone open, because once we get the ball in, I think it's going to be a quick trap and a possible foul, because the next foul will send Union to the free throw line shooting 2.
And most of the guys, well, actually all the guys out there are good free throw shooters. Typically, your big guys aren't great free throw shooters. There was a time in the old days when all big guys were bad free throw shooters. That's just not the case anymore.
That's not the case anymore. Most big guys are scoring machines.
Ball inbounds, and the foul comes quickly. Garrett Bernard fouls Driver. So that is 5 now on Garrett Bernard.
Get some fist bumps from the Union coaches, Garrett Bernard.
And obviously a big one right there for Westmoore. And a big one right there for Driver. Knocks that thing down with no trouble.
Driver gives some high fives to his teammates down low.
It's pretty classy of him to come down and do that to the Union coaches too.
Yeah.
Driver steps back. One more. No trouble. Union lead now 6 with 1:01 to go. Redhawks have a foul to give if they would like. Driver drives left, kicks it out. Three-pointer is good. My goodness. You got to give credit to these guys from Westmoore. They are not going away.
Evan Boyer with the 3.
Boyer knocked it down like it was no big deal, and the lead is 3. Driver on the move. Still just handling the basketball, looking to get fouled. Now he picks up his dribble, and there's a quick foul. 32 seconds to go. And you got to give Westmoore credit there. They didn't foul too early, and they were trying to just get the turnover from Driver.
And Driver did a really good job keeping the defender on his hip, staying low, keeping the dribble low, keeps it a consistency on the dribble.
And again, knocks the free throw down like it's no big deal. High fives nobody and steps back.
It's something that Corbin Gunn does as well. Anytime there's no one down there, they're like, I'm still going to high five down here.
Second one rolls around and finds its way in. That's a shooter's roll. 5-point lead, half minute to go. Driver to the middle. Flemons goes straight up, knocks that ball away. Well, affected the shot, let's put it like that. Pass comes out, a little bit lazy on that pass. And that was Manning getting on the ground, and Coach Garcia calling a timeout. Give Manning credit again, because if there's one of those kind of other guy players of the game, it's 14.
Yeah, he has been all over the place, especially on the offensive side, and that's something that tonight has been a really, really good night for him. Referees having a discussion on that because it seemed like there was a lot of hands all over in that moment. But thankfully enough, Union was able to get a timeout in that regard. 19 seconds left, 5-point lead. We have 2 timeouts for Union, 1 timeout for Westmoore. So even if Westmoore wants to keep this game close, it seems like that 1 timeout is going to be a not very slim margin.
And Union still has a foul to give if they choose with 19 seconds to go in a 5-point lead. Again, Garrett Bernard, who averages almost 17 a game and tonight had more than that, is on the bench with his 5th foul. His brother Grant averages almost 15 a game, and he is likely to take shots. Although, as we've seen, there have been threes raining from all over the place from Westmoore.
It's going to be an inbound on the far side. Going to be something that they might be taking up a full court press, just trying to get a turnover on here. You can obviously send some players to the left side of your screen, kind of where Flemings is.
And Union wants to get it to Driver. Cannot. Well, they did. Well, they didn't, but Westmoore commits the foul on the inbound, Boyer. And that once again will be, well, that wasn't Boyer, pardon me. That was Ortiz who fouls out.
5th foul, yep.
And once again, Driver, who has been 4 of his last 5 at the line, will go back. Kevin Inu, who does not appear in any of the stats for Westmoore, checks in. Well, appears in the stats, but not significantly when it comes to points. Driver calmly swishes it. Makes it a 6-point lead. Gotta love the kind of stick-to-itiveness and the lack of panic down the stretch here for the Redhawks.
It seems like we know the game plan in these final minutes.
Second one bounces out, and here comes Westmoore. Almost turned it over.
Take as much time as we want.
Inside, nice little drive in there. Left-hander goes up from Bernard, and it makes it 66-62 with 7.2 seconds to go and a timeout called by Westmoore.
Their final timeout tonight, so they're going to try to cue up something real quick to cause a turnover. Probably going to get some maybe new legs in there, just trying to cause it on the defensive side.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them commit another foul before the clock even moves. If you're going to let them shoot, let them shoot. At least with 7 seconds to go, you can play offense.
Yeah, from this inbound play, something to note is that Union will be able to run the sideline so they can go back and forth, up and down on the sideline, so they don't have to stay stationary. That's something that you can kind of see coaching-wise. They're very well coached if they're able to know that they can run the sideline.
I'll tell you one thing. You come to one of these games or you watch it on the stream, you're guaranteed for some fun and excitement because they are playing exciting brands of basketball, both the girls and the boys.
It seems like we're, 4 for 4, 5 for 5 on live streams so far this season with some good games.
A lot of action, a lot of back and forth, a lot of good basketball. Chappelle will inbound.
Referee's having a discussion right in the middle of the score, in front of the scoreboard.
It looks like to be about McIntyre. And he'll stay in the game. Don't know if they were talking about some kind of substitution issue. Driver, who's taken the last 7 free throws, will be dead center in the middle, top of the key. Gunn will break away, and they're going to get it to Gunn deep. He'll hold on to it, go inside, lay it up and in, and that'll do it, my friends. 68-62 Union. Last second heave is no good, and the Redhawks win. 68-62, so it's 2-4 tonight. The men and the women, the boys and girls both won. And Nick, once again, in both sides, I think what you saw was a whole lot of willpower.
Yeah, that endurance, that's definitely something that we were able to see. We were curious how it was going to be after a very long tournament, a very successful tournament. But even with that tournament, it seems like that was a lot of willpower to push us through into a nice Tuesday night where both boys and girls able to go and win their games. So we're 2-0 for Union tonight.
So take a deep breath, and we'll see you again here at the UMAC on Friday. Union basketball once again tonight, 68-62 for the boys. For Andy Irwin and the UVU crew, for my broadcast partner Nick Irwin, I'm Rick Corey. Good night from Union High School.